the people so much more about your personality and character. So they always want to know, what do you do for a living? How do you make your money? Because that tells a lot about where a person's priority is in their mindset. It's not so much the job that they have, it's the mentality of the person that have that type of job. Right? So if you in a blue collar neighborhood and you coming from the white collar world, they gonna look at you kind of side eye because they suspect of how you make your money. Whereas if you come move into a blue collar neighborhood and you blue collar, oh yeah, they want us. It's another form of tribing up vetting.
Right.
You know, so that's a common question in the modern society because our jobs have become intricate parts of our identity.
Well, I think my neighbors wanted to know because they had flagpoles in this yard when we moved in, and they belonged to the subdivision. And I told them I told the HOA, you're going to have to remove these flagpoles because I don't fly flags. And if you want to put a totem pole in this yard, that's fine, but we're not flying no flags. So I think that I may have rubbed them the wrong way. But I told my husband that's the only thing that I'm not going to do is have no flags in my yard. So they end up moving them, but we got some backlash on it. So
Oh,
our now they want
look,
to know if
long as they move,
yeah,
long as they move them up, fuck the backlash.
yeah,
Everybody ain't supposed to always agree on everything all the time, or
yeah,
life would be dull.
yeah,
Sometimes you need somebody to dissent to let you know you doing what you meant to do, and you following through with what you said. But
yeah.
if ain't nobody dissenting, it's not really a focal point. So it's the same way when peaceful people congregate. There's always some a-hole come in to try
Mm-hmm.
to disrupt the peace because the frequency is too peaceful. They
Yes,
can't handle it.
that's the problem. It's a lot of love and peace over this way. These folks can't handle it.
Cultivate that feng shui.
Right, right.
All right, sweetie, I'm gonna let somebody else come up, okay?
Love you. Thank you. Have
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more, then I'm gonna answer the questions. Oh no, they didn't stop me from taking. So now I'm gonna take the questions I got. The Ottomans infiltrated the empire that was already in place in the Americas, then create the corporation. Who was running the empire in the Americas? The tribes. The tribes from America. I don't have many memories to look back on. I'm wondering if I felt with everything as it happened, so I don't really look back. Nadine Vaughn. Man, the archivist. What is the purpose and how do you interpret spiritual taps on the body? They feel like muscle jokes. Um, when you talk about spiritual taps, you talk about energy surges. And the energy surge can feel like muscle jolts. It can feel like somebody from externally zapped you like a static shock. It could be a tingling, a itching. It depends on how your body interprets the frequencies, how it'll manifest in the body as a spiritual tap, and then how well you can relate to it. Jay Warriak, I have a question about healing family karma. It's my understanding you can send the energy back. The energy have to be rejected, blocked, not necessarily sent back. You just so we talking about breaking generational curses. The energy is normally a bad habit that's passed down the family line, and all you got to do is don't indulge it, and that's breaking the curse. So, being man 67, I'm visiting my grand uncles and aunt for the first time in Michigan soon. I'm documenting them while I'm in town. They are from Tennessee, and I'll be stopping there first to record as well. Do you have any advice on what kind of questions to ask? Ask about your family history as much as they can tell you, and let them go on autopilot after that. You know, get them tell you about each one of your they uncles and aunties they remember. Learn your family history. Focus on that because it's going to tell you about tribal patterns and what tribes move, how your family move. The imagination is the way that the mind creates something to focus the intention on. So them all the questions, a couple statements in there that I didn't respond to. So Chief Balance 713 say, why do most of the chiefs that I encounter have an affinity with dogs and music? What's the connection there spiritually? I resonate with the bird clan. My tribal name is Nighthawk. So a lot of the chiefs, it's a legend in a lot of tribal traditions that says the great father walks across the sky with a black dog on his heels, and it's called the legend of the great father. And many of the chiefs used dogs in hunting rituals, and the dogs became part of the chief's um, energy. A lot of the guys that we call dog men is chief energy. And now the spiritual, or the first you got to go to the stellar similarity. It's the Orion constellation with Sirius, the dog star, on his heels, is the great father and the black dog. You know, Earth, the mirror image, is the chief of the clan, which is the head of the family, with his dog, and that became customary over time. I think that's all the questions. Yeah. All right. They won't let me take nobody else up. I'm about to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all coming to Chief with the Chief one more time. I don't know when I'll be back, but this was for props. Big dude, Dr. L. Hayes, my father. So, peace and love to the people. I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope I was able to help expand your consciousness. Peace and hair grease from the Middle East.
Some prophecies that's coming out, man, and certain things are starting to move around. We at the end of this moon cycle, and we bringing in the sun phase. A lot's going on. So Chief Pontiac, SikApe at the Northgate, Raw Hayes have brought us some clips and other things he gonna go in on discussing the transition that we're going in, the transitional phase as this whatever energy it was, this moon energy go out, and then the Big Mama's energy come back to the planet. Go ahead, Rod. Tell them what we got going on.
So Dave, today we just going over receipts. Somebody sent me a couple on my Facebook. Has sent me several videos that is like streamlining everything I've been saying over the last like 6 years. So we ain't got the videos in no particular order. We just gonna take them as they come and do a little commentary between each one of them. But this is really just a receipt drop so that they'll see that all the stuff I've been telling them. Somebody sent me these. It's a Facebook page that got more than this on there, but I have to go into it, and you can check that Facebook page for even more. But they came from the main ones we talking about came from a particular Facebook page. Somebody tagged me in them, and I'm sharing them because they used computer graphics and animation or voice to text, text to voice. So it's like they took notes of everything I've been saying over the last 5 years, and then they said, "This is what's going to happen," or "This is what's going on right now." So roll the coin, Adder. You know the truth, man.
Let's get it cracking, y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We're about to get ready to crack here. Yeah, you want to go in on that?
And so you see, he said that the commands was coming from Cheyenne Mountain, right? And remember, I said 1,000 times that the military command is operating for the continuity of government out of Cheyenne Mountain. Right? And he went into the Antifa thing. George Soros was funding the anti-ICE protests, and they were sliding in private militaries that they had purchased for the assaults on the government agencies that was closing in on the immigrants, the illegal immigrants. But the illegal immigrants was the prelude to the conflict. So this is what, remember when he sent in the military, and I said that he gonna be able, the military can be sent in under the jurisdictional control of the National Guard. So he sent in those those National Guard troops supported by a group of Marines. Right? So they went over all that other stuff I've been saying. The changeover at the end, they was talking about that the other countries is starting their own internet, blocking out the United States military created internet. Right? So they coming up with their own, and they knocking them all offline. So all of those countries, they say it's mostly Africa and Asia, and they have exited the World Wide Web, and they have established their own. All that's cold talk. It's double speak, right? Because it's telling you that those ones have already made their alliances and have sealed their connections from the fallen regimes. So they stable now. And the ones that still tied into the World Wide Web, which ties into the old system that's still online, they the ones that has to crash. Right? So the ones who have their own systems in place no longer have to rely on the old systems, and the ones that still relying on the old systems, and that's the grand finale. When the old systems collapse, we talking banking system, then they roll out these arrests, right? Obama gonna be the one that's supposed to shake the world. So all this stuff gotta happen in the next 100 and something days, like 101, 102 days, because the arrival of the craft is the deadline that they've given us of their operations in the old system. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end, and the end meets the beginning. And you start all over again. So the referee come in to determine who's the victor in the war. Right? The referee got to be an unbiased person that has no distinct ties to the left or the right. We're going to see who won. Right? So they telling us that the craft's supposed to arrive within the next 101 days. That's telling us how long these operations going to be rolling out. We in September, that give us to the end of November. That's like 90 days. So good. So all this stuff is cumulative, right? Little things is happening, we report on them. Another little thing happened, we report on it, right? And once they're aware that we're aware, then they move on to the next point. We're not consenting to the tomfoolery. So every time we don't consent and we keep moving on with our persistence of who we is and that we the rightful heirs, it shrink their system. They control, and it makes the ones they call the deep state, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, they're the ones that's going crazy right now, trying to figure out ways to sip their last of those sips of power, because it's finna all come rolling out. As we will see, it's going to tell y'all more of stuff that we discussed on the Young Elder channel in the next one when he roll that corn.
Yeah. Hey, quick questions before we go to the next one.
Yep.
All right, so 100 days from now, the November, that's when they talking about the 12-mile mothership or whatever the mothership's arriving. Do you think that we should prepare for some type of like outage? Because when these ships appear, they can they talk about a power outage or some kind of it could cause an event. So should we be like stocking up or getting our supplies together? And
I'm gonna tell you this, anybody that ain't ready for what's coming now, don't waste your time.
Okay.
If you ain't ready for what's coming, because you can't stop what's coming. This is the grand finale. Right? So now everything is kicked up a notch. This is when they said the white hats went from defense to offense. Right? That's chess. The only time you switch from defense to offense in chess is once you got the upper hand.
Yeah.
Then you attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that's a shift. The power shifted. When they told you they went from defense to offense, I tell you right there, the power has shifted.
Yeah.
Right? Because as long as the dominant force is dominating, you can't mount an offensive.
Right.
Because you're too busy backing up on defense. But as soon as their resources is depleted, and they don't have no more gas to move forward, then the tables is turned now.
Yeah.
So now the once defenders is now the aggressors, the attackers.
Right.
Looking to stamp out the last little vestiges and holdouts of the fallen system so that we can bring in the golden age with the new systems.
Right.
Right. In religious terms, this is the so-called prophecy at the end in Revelations. Right? We're in the final chapter of Revelations right now. So,
I see that.
And all that's based on star constellation alignments, portal gate time frames that's kept. Because remember, all of the numbers reveal something. And then Vidal just did a little short on the 999 gate, which is to the nines is to the finish. Right? So after the 999 gate flip, that's when you start seeing everything take off. Right? Then he mentioned something about, I think, an eclipse on the 7th. Right? So it's telling you everything that's taking place in the stars, but we don't always know how to translate that to what to look like in 3D when we experience it. So we show you the energy using the numerology. And then we try to use current events to align the numerology so that you have a perceptive insight into what you experience going through the system, going through the process. Then it causes you become more alert, more awake, more aware. Right? So the light codes turns on the light. So when we tell y'all these numerology or tarot readers or whatever, and they give you this layout, then we match it up with the real life scenario, and it can be so accurate as it can call a person's name or address out, like GPS.
Hey Rod, one more question before we get to the next slide. Now they said they mentioned quantum, the quantum monetary system.
Yeah, the QFO.
I did a tape on it. Now to me they already semi in it. They just still got paper money floating around. They already semi into the quantum system already. They just because you got all the crypto, all the different parts, right, of the quantum system, but to me, they just waiting on, and they haven't printed no more money. Could you go in on that about the printing of the money and how the money system is going to change over to the quantum? How it's going to completely change over? Because that's what.
So the executive order stopped them from printing the Federal Reserve for printing Federal Reserve notes in 2017. Uh-huh. But they still had what's called surplus reserve notes. Mm-hmm. Well, because they print so many of them. Mm-hmm. So they had to run them through the system. And remember, when they collect the old bills, they supposed to burn them or recycle them. Right? So they've been collecting old bills, is reducing. Remember I told you the BRICS nations is to damn the dollar back home?
Yeah.
And then that's going to force the Federal Reserve to have to take more and more dollars out of circulation.
Right.
And they backing